everyone, and thanks for joining me in my studio today. I'm working in my summer sketchbook again, and I'm drawing two different birds today using my Neocolor II water-soluble wax pastels. The two birds that I'm drawing today are going to be the American robin, and then I'm also going to draw a bird that's called an indigo bunting. Drawing birds is very challenging to me, and so I really want to try and improve my skills in getting the birds to look a little bit more realistic without being stiff and still having a loose and expressive quality. I started with my robin and I added a nest and some pine branches behind the nest, and I'm just doing a really quick sketch and coloring in very loosely, almost like scribbling. And I have sped this video up just a bit. Like I said, I started with the Neocolor IIs. I did fill in very loosely. I like to start my colors lightly and then gradually add darker colors as I go. The Neocolor IIs can be pretty intense. So my first layer, I try not to be too heavy-handed because the color can be really overwhelming at first. Because when you add water, it essentially turns the crayon marks into watercolor paint. I work the same way I would as if I was using watercolor, and I usually always start light and layer my colors with watercolor. And once I have my sketch done, I'm taking a water brush. This is a brush that has water in the handle, and I'm activating my color. So when you add water to the Neocolor IIs, it turns it into a watercolor paint. And Neocolor IIs, if you have been on my channel for a while, you know that it's one of my favorite art supplies to use. I just feel like they're really fun to work with. They're very flexible, they're very forgiving, and I think that the Neocolor IIs help me loosen up and just be a little bit more expressive in my paintings. So I'm activating the bird and the grass and the nest that the bird is laying in, and I'm going to continue working on the branch. And some of my colors, you'll notice, they bleed out or they bleed into each other a little bit, and I don't mind that at all. I like how spontaneous the Neocolor IIs can be, and so I don't mind if the color moves around or they go into different areas. I think it just helps me be a little more expressive and a little more spontaneous. So as you can see, when I added water to that blue, the darker blue color, it's very dark. So that gives you a good idea of what I meant earlier when I said I tried to be lighter to start with for the Neocolor IIs, because they can get really intense right away, and it's much easier to add color than to take color away. So I'm just going to continue to work on my birds. I'm going to gradually layer color and add details and use some colored pencils later in my drawing. And I hope that you'll enjoy watching and following along as I create in my summer nature journal. I hope that you'll stay to the end, and I would love to hear what you think about my birds once I've finished my painting. I was pretty happy with them. I still think I need some work, but that's why I'm working on this sketchbook this summer. I'm trying to improve my skills, but I'm also trying to relax and not stress out and worry too much about the end result.